All right, friends. Hello, everyone. It's July 6th, 2023, and this is the SIG-Networking Ingress NGINX sub-project meeting, which means that it adheres to the CNCF Code of Conduct, which means be awesome to each other. If you have any issues, please report those to myself or to Ricardo or to the SIG-Networking lead. With that, we'll go ahead and get started. We always try to welcome new members. I do see a username on here that I don't recognize. I'm wondering if that is Michael, but if not, if you would like to introduce yourself, please go ahead.
Hey, I am Brandon, just from Microsoft, here to check out what you guys are working on.
Microsoft, I hear those folks like Ingress NGINX over there in Azure land.
Oh, they sure do.
Okay, well, welcome, Brendan. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. I don't see anybody else. I did ask someone to join. They were asking about the mod security issue. You guys remember seeing that one? The one with the performance issues. Once they flip it, it just shuts everything down in production. I asked them to join, but I don't see them on. So we'll go ahead and roll through. Old action items. Probably a bunch of things that I didn't look at. The annotation validations, that's the stuff you're working on. You said that that's ready to go, Ricardo, to review.
I have another topic on that.
Okay. I didn't put anything in the 2.0 release stuff here. I guess we could move this to your to the permanent issue that you just put in, so we can start having a discussion there instead of being in docs and showing docs around. Okay.
Yeah, I have added another item for that as well to discuss this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just doing a quick review of this stuff. Make sure that we're closing out.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, this is the issue that I was talking about. Let me pull this one up so we can discuss it again. This is the mod security one, mod security issue. We can review it even though the person asking about it's not here. We won't discuss the community survey unless Dylan comes back. I know we need to, there were some asks that we put out. We don't see any responses to the tweets, the dev mailing list, or the notifications. We can continue to try to ask folks, but we just keep putting information out there and they're not reading it, they're not reading it. That's the unfortunate part, especially with this 2.0, all the deprecations in 2.0 coming out. Okay, that's the review. The action items. Ricardo, we're gonna put a timer on the issue triage because we got to continue to make sure we do that. I know I'm bad at it. I try to do it throughout the week, but let's give it the 15 minutes that it's due. Are there any issues that folks know about besides the mod security timeout issue that we should review before we go into just triaging what's there? No? Okay. Go right back. Go right into it. Starting at the top of the list. I haven't even reviewed this. I haven't even looked at this. We've got some new ones already. I'll drop this in here so we can go ahead and look at it. I can't see my screen is still being shared, right? You see the 403 issue?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we got a cert issue.
Yeah, I think this one it's right because right now the way that the client of works, it will get your I mean it's gonna validate your certificate and then just say okay, it doesn't match whatever I need, so block it. A solution for that would be to have some, let's say, move the client validation to below like the location. I'm not sure if this works. I need to double check. I think it's optional, and then it takes the location. I need to double check that, and maybe have some authentication ignore field that says that all of the dash dot well known or anything that should be public, that you have RFCs or things that say that they are public locations by definition, like slash dot well known that's used by Let's Encrypt, OAuth, and all of those things. Maybe we can just skip all of the validations for those locations. But I need to see if this is like expected.
DN
Anyway,
checking. That's domain name checking.
That's the common name checking. So we have this feature on the client certificate of, right? When you send the certificate, you can check if the common name matches or rejects, or like a single string saying like, hey, I accept certificate authentication, but just from James, even if Ricardo have a cert on that CA as well.
So he's saying when he's adding this, things are breaking.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me hold on, James. 1 second. Keep on your. Yeah, it gets the cert and it does the validation. Yeah. So can you see also there is like an SSL verify client on the snippet that he sent? Yeah. Yeah. Just a bit above. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. The other one. With the underline.
This one?
No, the same value that you added, but instead of the dash, underline, underscore. Yeah, the first one, the line just below this one. Yeah, SSL verify client. So the right way of doing that would be like having an optional. I think there is a flag on that. He can set the flag for optional, but still that line below, that line above, it does an early failure because there is no match, right? So that validation should be inside probably the location or inside something else. So you can have the optional. It will check, and then you can say, okay, if something is wrong, I want to send you to an error page on somewhere else. Otherwise, I can accept. But that's kind of tricky to do that. Let's just, sorry.
It's doing that, right? That's what the 403 is saying. Or he's saying that it should match and it's not.
I don't think they have cert manager. Yeah, I'm not sure, because the SSL verify client on, we already block him, right? Because it's not optional.
Yeah.
But yeah, assign me to this one. I will try to take a look as soon as I have some time, if you want, or if someone wanna drill down into certificate requests. It's kind of tricky what he's trying to do, but I think there is some room for improvement here.
Okay.
But the behavior is right. Probably the template is wrong, or there is a need to some extra configuration that the user needs to do. Or we should, yeah.
Always put it on the backlog.
Backlog.
Okay. Avoid external hop with auth URL.
I think there is a PR for that one.
Oh yeah, I did that one. Oh, using localhost.
Yeah, I saw the PR, but I didn't enter that. I'm kind of afraid of allowing localhost. Yeah, because we run extra stuff on localhost, right? So yeah. I will. You don't need to assign this one to me, but that's on my radar. I will take a look, and I think that we need a better way of doing that because accepting things to localhost may be dangerous for us right now on our current situation.
Yeah, I agree. But what I don't understand is why why would it do the extra hop if your external auth URL is localhost?
I think probably the user has like a second ingress that contains something running on localhost or something like that, but I need to read the use case. I mean, fine, there is already a.
Yeah, this isn't fully hashed out of like, because if your auth URL is set to localhost, why would it brought out externally? That's what I don't get. Do you want me to ask them to fill out a little bit more detail on this one? No?
Yeah. I would ask some scenarios explaining how he's testing this, how he got into this.
Long generally pushes them to fill out the full like template, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe just ask them to fill this out.
He added it as a feature. This isn't an issue. I think it's because he came with both the PR and the issue. Usually, like one of the things Long does ask for is like when folks put in a PR, he asks them to put in an issue too, explaining the use case. But I don't see any explanation on here.
Yeah, let's just keep it simple. Let's explain the use case and the authentication, and that's all. Let's see how this goes. Yeah.
Yeah. SSL pass-through is enabled at the same time as proxy protocol. Proxy protocol doesn't work.
This is a duplicate. There is something else. If you find the issues, can you go to the issues? I think there is a duplicate on that. And the thing is that our current implementation of SSL pass-through, it's bad.
It's like there are several issues. SSL pass-through, I don't see timeout.
Yeah, I think that's a well-known. So this is something that I'm gonna take a look. I'm gonna refactor the whole SSL pass-through. Today, the way that we do, it's a proxy that runs inside the controller and not inside NGINX, because by the time of the implementation, NGINX didn't support it, SSL pass-through, right? And I think there is an issue that I have open to refactor that. If you search for that, you can just say, hey, associate one with the other, and I will take a look at that.
One opened by you? I don't see one opened by you.
Remove the triage accepted, maybe.
Oh.
Or even try to search without the dash, like just pass through. Here you go. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So just removing it and having NGINX do it natively?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go back and comment and just I probably should go back through and look at all the SSL pass-through ones. I don't want to say that your implementation or the native implementation will fix those issues, but we want to put them on the backlog and let them know that we've looked at it and we're gonna refactor it.
Yeah. The
It's also
problem. Yeah.
down on the laundry list of things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the current implementation works, but that's pre-NGINX supporting this, so we should now include that.
Yeah. Yep, watching me type. Fun. That's what we do every other Thursday, is just watch me type. All right, we might have time for one more. Default backend annotation is not working. That's not good. Sorry, closing all the other ones. Default backend service, the handles. Yep, so they have a custom one. Annotation has no effect. That's not good. Is that the only annotation that they need?
I'm not sure. No. I'm just saying I would need to check this because I've been playing around with default annotations, and yeah, it only needs that. I mean, default backends, and it only needs that annotation, but it's been working fine with, from what I can see. Oh, they need to set the custom errors, right? Or something.
Is that what Long is saying here?
Yeah. Can you paste the link to this? Yeah, custom errors. Yeah. Because the default backend will only catch when you set custom errors. So if the your server responds with an error, it will route to your default backend on a specific URL.
Yeah, so the custom backend. Oh, so he's got to do. He skipped step 2 here, right? Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Can we link to that?
Yeah. I'll look into this.
You want me to sign it to you, Brendan, then?
Yeah. Send it to me.
What's your username again?
Bazzy757.
Okay. Yeah, this just looks like a support request. They didn't put in the other one. I've never, I keep saying this. There's a lot of configuration options I've just never set or used. I just use the default, I just use a very basic ingress when I'm using it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Cool. Fun times. All right. That was the 15 minutes on the issue triage. We can use the rest of the time talking about some of this other fun stuff. The permanent breaking change issue. This is the thing you talked about in Slack today, Ricardo.
Yeah, I just wanted to raise that I've seen this on some repo that I use. I can't remember which one was, but I thought that the idea was going to be actually great, right? So that's a locked issue that you, me, probably Jintao, we can edit that and start adding the breaking change that we figured out or before the release. We just need to make sure that the approvers, they know about that, right? And then we can keep a track on things that are going to be removed or deprecated. Like on version 1.9, we are removing AJP. I want to make the change to disallow snippet annotations as a secure measure and tell people that this is a breaking change. And we have renamed whitelist to allow list. It still works, but may stop working, right? So and this is actually I forgot to add, but this is the one that supports validation, but validation it's not enabled by default, so shouldn't be a breaking change as well, right? And then on version 1.10, we have all of those plans to change, remove Open Jaeger, Zipkin, Open Tracing, Zipkin Jaeger, Datadog, and so on. So I wanted to use that as a way to keep the track on things that we want to deprecate.
I like it. We can also put it out on the dev mailing list as well, just so folks can track that. And I'll do that. We probably should add the 2.0 list here too. And also, this is just for potentials, right? This isn't what we're actually what we've actually put out. It will be in the release note, the actual changes, or do you want to use this as like gospel?
I think that we should keep on the release notes, but also keep adding. So just a second.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Your headphones dying?
No, my cell phone is ringing. Yeah, but that's okay. So I wanted actually to keep this open so we can keep a track on things that broke and people can just scroll down, even not go into each of the change logs as well. But this is going to be like a really manual step. I don't want to do that automated. I think it's a good way of just keeping the track and allowing people to see, hey, something is not working. So did you take a look into this big giant issue, right? As you've said on the version 2.0, if you take a look into the bottom, I have the unplanned release with like removing old SSL protocols, removing mod security, and the whitelist source range annotation. So when we decide to do a release on that, let's say on version 1.11, we just move to the top.
Okay. There was those changes that was in that was in the 2.0 breaking change doc that I made. Let me go ahead and add those because we had strict validation set to true. That's definitely a breaking change. Control plane, data plane, removing Jaeger, etc. For OTel and mod security removal and or replacement. And then Gentile has removing AJP support. That would probably not have to go in 2.0. That could probably go in 1.9 and 1.10. You've already got the PR out there, right? That was the reason why we moved the release to release branches, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Not that. How do can I edit this? I can't.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then as we open up PRs and issues for these, should we link to them with them as well?
I think it's a good. I think it would be good for us if we do that, at least for the major breaking changes. So yeah, people can comment on the PRs, right, as an example, but not on this issue. This issue would be just for watching and not spamming people with a bunch of comments, random comments.
Oh, you've already got that there. Annotation. Those are annotation changes. Sorry, I was copying it in the wrong spot.
No, that's okay. We can take care of that later. I mean, just like add some placeholder for the things that we don't know the category yet, and we can just keep moving.
Yeah, strict path validation remove. Okay, Yeah. See what Grammarly says about your English. Okay, I like it. Definitely. Oh, you've got the disable annotation validation. Oh, it's defaulting to false. That's the stuff you just finished up. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's fine. I like it. We can send out a notification for folks to watch this. I can send it out to the dev mailing list, drop it in users, and tweet it out.
Cool.
Cool. Your next fun one, validation, the validation PRs. You say this is ready for
yeah, I think it's actually passing all of the tests. It's ready to be merged. Yay, cool. Great, right? And take a look into the just 5,000 lines. I think it's okay, right? We can merge it without checking.
only
But
101.
so,
Just 101 new files.
yeah. So so this thing is ready to be merged. I know that there are going to be some needs for improvements on the regex. We are relying a lot on regex to validate some annotations, even having some common validators as well, right? I try to document all of the flags that can be used and keep the default right now as disabled, but allow people to enable that instead of even doing a breaking change on 1.9 saying, hey, we have validations, but validations is disabled by default, and we are going to enable that on 110, right? I mean, I know that Jintao is going to probably take a look into this until next week, but as this thing is kind of dragging for some time, and we have some priority to merge this, if you understand me. I would just ask people to really take a look into that, see if they miss something, if they figure out there is something weird, and otherwise just getting that merged.
Yeah. Did you add an end-to-end test where it's flipped the true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what this one is?
Yeah. I mean, this is the one that will block. This is the one that will block based on the webhooks, right? And there are some all of the validations, they have unit tests, at least on the annotation unit test they have passed.
Yeah.
And there is some store test as well on the starter that will error or work based on the parser being enabled or not, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that we just...
Yeah, I've spent more time writing tests than writing the code, actually, in this case.
Yeah. Because it's a config global option, right?
The flag that enables the validation is the flag that allows that changes the risks, and the cross namespaces are config map.
Okay.
And it's disabled by default. It's false by default, so it's not disabled.
Yeah, no. What I was thinking.
Sorry. It's true by default. It's disabled. The validation it's disabled by default.
Before we run it into 1.9 or 1.10, or whenever we want to flip it to doing the validations, should we run a whole set of the Helm and in the end test with it set to true? Or false?
Yeah,
Just
I think we can.
I'm just thinking we put it out there and it's going to break people's clusters, and we'll have another issue like we did with the path validation. Because now this is all annotations.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I can. I mean, I will keep. My problem would be on the test that actually we enable or disable the flag, right? But other than that, I can
just
create
for one
a
or two
new.
days.
Yeah. I will create just for one release because I think we are not messing the way that we deal with Kubernetes, but just with the annotations, right? And see how this goes and what's gonna break. Yeah, sounds good. I can do that.
Okay. I'm just trying to prevent us from heartache from the next time.
Yeah.
So the question is, in 2.0, we'll flip it to false, so it's always validating, because that would be a major breaking change.
Yeah.
So okay,
To,
we'll roll it out with it
oh,
disabled.
sorry, go for it.
Yeah, so we'll roll it out to 1.9 and 1.10 with it disabled, and then 2.0 we'll flip it to true. Would we ever want to do that in a? I mean, there's going to be already a lot of breaking changes.
Yeah, I think we can actually do that in 1.10 because we usually do breaking changes between minor releases, not patches, and this is the idea of the branch as well, right? Like having release 1.9 and release 1.10. And then on release 2.0, probably because it's going to be a major architectural change with control plane and data plane, then we should do on the 2.0. But the validation I would just keep on the next, not on 1.9. 1.9 we keep disabled, as they do on Kubernetes with like feature flags and the APIs, right? So we can keep it disabled for 1.9, 1.10. And then we decide to do enable in 1.11 as an example. Like we say, okay, it's stable by default. The test they are passing, right, on all of those releases, so we can just enable.
Complaining about it. Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. Cool. All right. On to the next ones. Disable snippet annotations for 1.9.
yeah. We had this flag for some time, and as 1.9, it's gonna have some breaking changes as well as we are removing AJP. I wanted to flip this flag to true. And now if you want to allow your users to use snippet annotation, you need to flip that back to false and announce that. Because then it's going to be like an assumed risk, right? So we gave people a lot of time to take a look into that. We know that some folks, they are going to have like complaints about like, hey, you don't support headers, you don't support something else. And we have that on the backlog, right? But I think that it's going to be good that people know that they should now assume the risk of enabling snippets.
I'm still concerned about that one being set to disabling them. What's the ramification if we disable snippets and someone has snippets that they're using? So in an upgrade, it's going to cause, that would be a breaking change.
Yeah.
I don't think we can change. I don't think we can flip it for 1.9.
Okay.
I'm just, from a user's perspective, if they go to upgrade to 1.9 and their snippets are disabled, they don't read the release notes, we're going to get a bunch of issues open up. 2.0 gives them that, like, we need to go read the release notes and see what the breaking changes are. Deprecations, I think, are fine for minor releases. So I'm moving on to the next one. Besides Datadog, no one else has yelled about the other ones, right? Open Tracing, Zipkin, Jaeger.
Yeah, and Datadog, they have a plan as well, right? So I wanted to state that we are not going to remove that on 1.9, as they asked us for some time to implement that, but we are going to remove that on 1.10.
Oh, where'd it go? I thought it would have like put it at the top here or something. Let me open that issue back up. I pinned it. I thought pinning it would do something different.
It's on the main repo. If you click on Ingress NGINX.
Oh, it's right here. Yeah, so that's this right here. And we want to do that for 110.
Yeah, I think it's a good commitment.
Okay. Yeah. Do we have an open issue for comment on that? I know Datadog has put in their, they've got their plan, but should we open up an issue?
We have an issue for the deprecation, yeah.
Okay. I just want to add that, like the list, I just want to put out a list of like deprecations. Like we'll give people like, hey, here's the notification about planned deprecations and our changes in this pinned permanent issue. And here's the individual ones that you should be aware of that are coming, and the moving everything to open telemetry is one of them.
Yeah.
So
if you find Datadog, it's gonna appear there.
Okay. Okay. I'll write it up. So that'll be one of the things I can write up to just let folks know about all of these new things. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and look at this one. This will probably be the last thing we look at. So I was talking with this person, and it's very interesting, this one. So again, this is a scale problem. They have a large amount of ingresses, and then only in their production environment, when they turn the security rule engine on, everything goes down. I asked them to put in some more information about like the scale of like the number of ingresses, the rules that they have enabled. I think they put out some of the rules that they have here, but I don't see anything off the top of my head. I don't know if there's any issues with because we're running the latest version of the mod security library, which is 103. And I have not looked in to see if they have any scaling issues. But again, I don't know how large of an environment that they say that this is. Any other thoughts on mod security just deciding to give up when it's supposed to do its job?
What goes down? Is the controller or is it in NGINX?
The sites are down. So I'm assuming NGINX isn't proxying once we turn the mod security on. That's why I asked them what the CPU and memory utilization was once they've turned it on. Because this was turning this on requires a restart, right?
Yeah, it needs a reload. Yeah, when you set it.
So he said when the original urgency is in place, everything's fine with detect only, but as soon as he flips it on, all the sites stop responding.
I think last time what I said, and I didn't check it, but it's I have this feeling that when you are on the sec detection only, what happens is that, and it would be really helpful if they have some logs on somewhere of the NGINX. Yeah, here we go. Can you open it? Yeah.
So I was looking at that, and I see a lot of. Yeah, I know I downloaded it already.
I would say that probably this is a timeout.
Yeah, so let me stop sharing, and then did I hit stop recording? No, I hit stop sharing. I don't know where all these buttons are. The NGINX error log. So I see a bunch of these errors from the certificate from the Lua code, but I also see the mod security. So the 400s. Request body excluding files is bigger than the maximum expected. Yeah. That's a mod security error, right?
Yeah. So what happens there is when you set and you enable the body inspection, and let's say you enable the body inspection and you say like a PDF or 10 megabytes. So mod security won't validate that because it's gonna say, okay, I have this maximum of like 1 megabyte or something to validate, and more than that I can't, right? To protect it from memory problems. So
So are these errors normal then? These don't.
this is so those errors, they are probably so it seems that someone is doing some scan, right? And testing some random servers there, right? But not passing the host name or something like that, or even there is like hostname customer one. So they may not have the certificate set on this Ingress. So it's just getting that because there is no certificate configured, which is fine. Like, so it's using the default.
So mod security is doing what it's supposed to be doing.
It seems so.
So yeah, you get an access denied. Do they just need to? I don't know what these hosts are doing, and I didn't ask that. So there's the stop. Yeah, it looks to be just the same error over and over.
Yeah. So this one, it's because they don't have a certificate, right?
Yeah,
The
no,
other one on mod security. Yeah, the other one on mod security, and they would need probably a help on that. It's because, hold on, server post configuration unexpected error 400. It's failing to reconfigure. Can you see it? Like, it's failing even to reconfigure the. This is actually interesting. It's trying to reconfigure something like the backends, and it's not working. Access denied at call 400. Parameter. Hey, hold on. This is actually nice. Okay, this is great, James.
okay.
Here's the thing. Okay, I see the problem. So here is the thing. We have this /configuration/servers internally, right? On our internal port. Okay? Fine. And we pass a JSON with the whole configuration that should be set on NGINX, right?
Okay.
And when they enable mod security, what we
It's
are doing is
denied.
actually, we are inspecting our own internal request because the JSON body is too big, and then it's denying.
So it can't. So once they turn it on, because they have a large number of ingress controller objects, mod security is not letting us.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
It's not, but okay.
We should ignore mod security for internal requests.
Yeah, because okay. So they just need to add a mod security rule that ignores localhost requests to that.
Yeah, short term it would be, but I can take a look and do and ignore that because it doesn't make sense actually to have mod security running because this part is just exposed internally, and we really don't know what mod security is. So it's just like probably adding to the template saying like to the local configurations, it shouldn't be passing to mod security. Sec rule engine should be off for that server.
Yeah, there.
Let me take a look here. And
Let's need to build that shell script, right? When we're doing the default NGINX rule or the default mod security rules.
we can actually add to the template and just say skip, you know.
Okay. All right, I will talk back to them and tell them to add a mod security rule to ignore that port, that host to that URL, and then see if that fixes the issue. All right.
Yeah, I found it. Hold on. There is this I think this one. Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link of the line here, right? And what we should be doing is actually on this case, we should be just ignoring
Ignore
think
mod
it's this
security.
one. Yeah.
Oh, so you can just put a block in here in the server block and say ignore mod security and allow it through.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you can. There is the configuration of mod security is on. It's inside the server definition, I think. But we can set mod security. That there is already one ensure mod security will not run on custom error pages, and we should probably set this on the same here. This is the line. We should set this to the internal configuration as well. This one. I've sent that to you.
Oh yeah, I see it right there, mod security on. And for that,
Yep.
that server block, we can just set mod security off.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty easy.
My quick recommendation would be tell them to change the template. They are using a pretty old version, so if they are willing to update to 1.8, I think we can raise a bug and cherry pick and do a release of 1.8.2 for them, because they are using 1.6.4, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, they would need to change their template for that.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to easily change that and still stay on 1.6.4. There's no snippet to change because that's all internal to our configuration. So if they tried to do something on localhost, it wouldn't work, I would think. I'll let them know we've identified the issue. We'll put a fix in for 1.8.2 and let them know what the actual issue was. And if they want to change it on their side, they can.
Yeah, it's just adding this line. Like we can create a PR and tell them, hey, this is the change that you should be doing on your template. And it's going to be really like a one-line change. And that's all,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Well, that was fun. So I've got a couple emails I've got an email to write about the deprecations, and we'll put in this bug fix for 1.8.2, and we'll see what folks think about all of our breaking changes coming up or our deprecations.
Okay.
Thanks for joining today, folks.
See ya. Have a nice weekend.
Thanks.
Bye,
Ciao.
y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye.